You might have heard the IRCC's recent announcement regarding the international students
20-hour work cap to return for international students in Canada.
have to pay around $20,000 as a GAC for their proof of fund.
Is speaking to reporters. Let's listen.
Aspire to study abroad. Chances are Canada would be high.
On the other hand, they are reducing the entry requirements for international students.
Jobs like in my related field.
So this sounds a bit contradiction, right? You should hear the other side of the story. I'm Madhavan, and this is... Even now, international students are paying more than 200% as an average than a local student as their tuition fee. And now, institutions like colleges or universities are planning to increase this fees. Everyone knows cost of living in Canada is skyrocketing, and it affects international students the most, as the students are not getting their proper part-time jobs. Taking off the limit of 20 hours per week may help few people, those people who came to Canada by fall 2022 or winter 2023. And what about the people who came after that? Even still now, people are trying so hard, and people who came after winter 2023, May 2023 and the fall 2023 trying to find the proper part-time job, as the limit of working for 20 hours has been lifted last year, and most of the people who came in 2022 and winter 2023 started doing full-time jobs. So as a result, there is very less opportunities for newcomers and people who are yet to be here, especially winter 2024 intake people. It's very hard for them till next April. And Mr. Mark Miller said,
the main purpose for an international student to be in Canada is to study.
Yes, I agree. 100%. International students are here to study. Yeah. Where it contrasts is, where is the job after the studies? In the sense, I'm asking about actual on-field skilled jobs. Where are the opportunities? So until landing in a proper skilled full-time job, they have to continue part-time job they were doing as a full-time job to cope up with the cost of living. So this is the another reason for people who are yet to be here and people who are already here who are trying to find a proper part-time job. And there the question arrives. As the immigration minister said,
The main purpose for an international student to be in Canada is to study.
Why are they worried about the part-time jobs? The thing is cost of living. So as I've already mentioned, international students are paying more than 200% than the local students. So if you really want international students just to study, I'll give you two ideas. What you have to do is to provide free housing and food for international students, as they are paying more than 200%. If we have to concentrate on studies, we need someone to take care of this. And unfortunately, that's not the case. As the minister said,
September 2024, we are prepared to take necessary measures, including significantly limiting visas, to ensure that designated learning institutions provide adequate and sufficient student supports as part of the academic experience.
What about students who are already here? What about the students who come before that? We have to do something. I mean, you have to do something for them. If you try to find a way to provide the free housing and food for the international students, I bet you most of the international students like me won't even bother to work, because we even worry do the household chores back home while we are studying. So I bet you if you can provide the free housing and free food for international students over here who pay an enormous amount of funds than the local students, we won't work while we are studying. If you really want to reduce the number of intakes of international students, what you have to do is to increase the entry requirements, to increase the competency level. You have to increase the quality of the international students. But what you are doing now is increasing the proof of fund. The Indian mindset, the middle class Indian mindset is, if I have a letter of acceptance from an university, Indian middle class mentality will go to any extent to grab that opportunity. That's the reason they are reducing the entry requirements and they are increasing the proof of fund requirement. And international students are the source for Canada and the Canadian banks to create the money. And people should know one thing. Let me give you an example. Like most people will know how banks generate money, lending out. For every $100 that you have in your bank account, the bank can rent anywhere between $70 to $97. So if an international students have to show the proof of fund as $20,635, and the banks can lend anywhere between $15,000 to $19,000. I would say the money which we get back is the interest bank earned by lending out our money. And one more thing, if you just want international students just to study, and if we get a job, we can work for 3 years and you're not going to extend the work permit and we have to leave, why we have to pay the Canadian pension plan, which we cannot take out until certain period of time. So that's the another contradiction. If students have to prove that they're just here to study, why do we have to pay Canadian pension plan? So indirectly, you are taking money in the name of Canadian pension plan, and you also don't want international students to stay over here. So you are taking money from our pockets and you want us to leave, and you're not going to give us that money. And these are some of the exploitations of international students by Canadian immigration system. And there are a lot more stories of international students getting exploited by the employers, by the immigration advisors, and a lot more. Now, do you think that this is worth the hustle, and moving to Canada to get a proper education is worth it? And is it a better decision to move here? Pour your comments in the comment section. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, take care. Goodbye.